One of the toughest things to do in all of college football is win on the road. When you're a ranked team going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Welcome to Starkville, Mississippi, home of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. As we'll see, the number 12 team in the country, the South Carolina Gamecocks, taking on a fellow SEC opponent, the Mississippi State Bulldogs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer alongside. Guys, we can't wait to see this game. Been looking forward to it all week. Mississippi State ready to kick off to get this game started. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk out to the 30-yard line.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. Give to the back. Finding an escape route. A pickup of 5 marks it at the 36-yard line.
And on second down, a lot of times, I don't know why, you just, as a defense, you go pass. You think passing situations, passing downs. Really good job by the offense, committing to the run game, not abandoning it, not getting yourself in a third down situation where you had to throw the football.
They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 6. Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. He's going to run it. Turns it on at midfield. And he picked up the 1st down, but he will remember the price he paid after that hit.
And you got to lock in on your keys. When they run this kind of offense and they do the replays, somebody has to account for the quarterback, and they forgot who that was, and he made them pay with a big play.
The Gamecocks are on the move. They'll try the run. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and short.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. From the gun, the running back has it. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Well, that's just tough, hard-nosed running. You need 1 yard to get, let the running back figure it out.
And the Gamecocks will snap it on 1st and 10. Looking downfield, it's Sellers. Caught in the backfield, it's Smith. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Always nice to have that security blanket of the tight end.
And it's nice to have a tight end that can line up in different areas of the field, too. It's not always going to be in a three-point stance. He can sometimes be in the backfield. You could flex him out into the slot. They might even try to put this guy out at wide receiver in the split end position and see what he can do there, because this guy is a weapon.
That last completion sets him up on 2nd down. A designed run for the quarterback. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Into a bit of trouble here. 3rd and long from the 25, and the last thing they want is to get knocked out of field goal range. Oh, he'll keep it on the draw. Got enough for the 1st down. He was running through tackles and picked up the 1st down and finally got knocked down. They'll immediately call timeout.
Timeout, South Carolina.
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. They'll go to the ground. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Off the play fake. Here he goes breaking the pocket. Couldn't quite get it into the end zone as he's run out of bounds at the 7.
And that's a missed opportunity by the defense, because if this quarterback is going to decide to run the ball, you have got to make him pay. You at least have to hit him and put him on the ground. I know they didn't give up a big, long, explosive run. You got to get shots on this guy when you can. That time, they let him get out of bounds.
Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. To the air, it's Sellers. Complete along the sidelines, and that'll be good enough for the first down. They'd love to start this quarter off with a touchdown right here. They'll use the running game on first and goal. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
You know, the runner just has to have a little bit more patience. Bounce that thing outside a little too early, and as a result, lost yards.
Can the D deny them on second and goal? Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Back to pass on second down. Flips it out in the flat. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Gamecocks!
You talk about ball control offense. This offense just held the ball for the whole first quarter and then some. Strung a drive together, making the great plays when they needed them. That's a great opening statement from this offense.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. They held the ball for 15 plays on that touchdown drive. And they get it into the end zone with a 6-yard touchdown pass. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting in the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to run.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Defense showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. Out of the gun, the give to the back. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
I love when you start bringing linebackers up near the line of scrimmage and you start sending them, because those guys have serious speed. They can come catch anybody up and down the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, you could tell, he had a good clue what was going on. He knew it was a run play, fired, pulled the trigger, came downhill, and attacked the running back.
And the Bulldogs are way behind the sticks on this 3rd and forever. Pocket breaking down. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
And nobody able to handle that punt. They'll let it bounce and roll out of bounds. Opening play of this drive comes from the 13-yard line. Here's the handoff. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, there's a statement by the defensive line. First down play, expecting run, and they just dominated up front. Beat their one-on-ones and forced a tackle for a loss.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. The play-action fake. Time to take a shot. And it's incomplete, going for the massive, explosive play instead. They're looking at a 3rd down.
This is going to be a key that we look at this entire game. How can this defense find ways to affect this quarterback and get pressure on him? Because they felt coming into the game, if they could do that, they could affect him and influence this passing game.
Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place, trying to help their defense. Wants to throw. It's Sellers. Here comes the heat. And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions, the C zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
The Gamecocks will punt it away on 4th down. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He gets it away from his own end zone. He'll field the punt and see what he can get. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. start this drive at their own 48. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Going for the big play. Makes the grab at the 10. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Mississippi State.
And a really nice job by the quarterback. He drops back. He knows where he's going with the football. You can tell. He sees this guy coming from left to right, running that post down the middle of the field, throws it. Perfect timing to his receiver. He catches the football, takes it into the end zone.
Setting up for the extra point and the time. And they did tack on that extra point with no problem. And that is the height of efficiency on that drive. Single play, hit the big chunk, get the touchdown. Fielded in the end zone. It's Clark. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. Shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. Power football with the run. Got it across the 20 and out to the 23, a pickup of 4. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Keep it on the ground. And the ball's out and they're after it. Defense picks it up. He'll be brought down, but he was trying with everything he had to turn that disaster into a first down. He came up a little short.
Man, and it was just the impact of the hit that dislodged the football from the ball carrier. There was a heat-seeking missile coming in there, and he knocked that thing loose.
And how about the keen eyes and sharp awareness from the coach to challenge that call, and the officials agree it'll go his way. If you didn't have a headache before, you've got one on the way. The cowbell's ringing on this third down in Starkville. Dropping back, it's Sellers. Unloads to the wideout. And they'll miss the connection here on third down.
I want to give a shout out to the defense there on third down, doing a really nice job disguising their coverage because it looked like they confused the quarterback on third down. Really nice job getting back into that zone and making sure that ball falls incomplete.
And the Gamecocks line up to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Nice directional kick there like a solid iron shot. And he will boom that punt out of bounds. No chance for a return. Let's see where the officials spot it. Their own 27-yard line. Gets the back moving. Takes a handoff. It's Booth. He picks up maybe a couple before he stopped right at the 30-yard line. Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Wide receiver going in motion. To the ground with the back. Found a little space, and he's got 4 to the 35.
Just a simple power play. Power football. Be strong, be big, be physical. Make it a fourth quarter game. Make them feel you. Keep them off balance.
The Bulldogs are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, they'll go to the power running game. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37.
Well, it's not a home run, but it's just enough by the running back to move the chains.
They won't have time to run another play, and we will take it to the 2-minute timeout. Mississippi State comes out after picking up the first down. Looking to pass. It's Shapen. That one never had a chance. Incomplete.
Nothing the receiver could have done on that play, guys. You're not expecting the ball to be thrown behind you like that, especially in the quick game.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. He's going to take off. Quarterback gets past the marker. Across the 50 and knocked out of bounds at the 48. An explosive play gets this offense working.
And he's just kind of proven that he's difficult to defend. When I'm playing defense, and we've seen him have success throwing the ball through the air, but now, nice job dropping back, trying to force the ball down the field, but does a really smart thing. Just kind of tucks it, takes off, and gets the first down. This guy's showing you a little...
Turning it on! Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be first down. Whatever the fastest tempo they have is, that's what they'll use. Right back to the well. Oh, he's got some space. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on 2nd down here.
And that would be the definition of first down success. Putting yourself in a good position. It's 2nd and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football and get a new set of downs. Like, nice first down execution.
And the Bulldogs come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. They'll run it from the gun. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
And these short yardage situations, it all comes down to the up front. Like, who can win the battle up front? Can you get a hat on the hat? And they do. This offensive line, they get on the D-line, they create just enough space, understand short yard situation, fall forward, and get a first down.
And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays. But sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well. if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. The give to the tailback. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
I'll tell you, this defensive end, not only can he pass rush, but he can play the run as well. You see him beat the offensive lineman there trying to block him and get in the backfield to make that tackle for loss. That was impressive.
They've moved it to the 25, but now facing a 3rd and long. Back to throw, it's Shapen. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Really nice 3rd down sub-defense there that time. It's 3rd and long. They're expecting pass, and they're mixing up their looks. They're trying to change the picture pre-snap to post-snap to confuse the quarterback, and now forcing the incompletion, setting up 4th.
Now looks as if they'll settle for the field goal try. And he'll need a little distance and accuracy, a 42-yarder from the left hash. And this one is perfect. And with that field goal, they now have the lead. So after putting 3 on the board, the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Offense has enough time to get off a play before we head to the half. Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. Shot down in the backfield again, and that might do it here in the half. And what a way for this defense to wind up the quarter. And that'll do it here in the 2nd quarter. Halftime has arrived, and we head to the studio. The Gamecocks will kick it away first, and we'll start the 2nd half. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Dropping back, it's Shapen. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Another incompletion, and I've said that a lot, and these teams are just struggling. I mean, the offense just doesn't know what to do. Nothing's working, ground game, throw game. It's kind of been a rock fight on both sides.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. From the gun, he leads it with the back. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28. Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. From the gun, wants to pass. He's going to let it go. Makes the grab inside the 30. And they pick up a better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down. Mississippi State to the line with a fresh set of downs. Unloads quickly. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Mississippi State.
Man, this guy is an elite tight end. This guy is a dude. He keeps making plays like this. We're going to start comparing him to Brock Bowers and Kyle Pitts. The run after the catch, the big body, the athletic ability. He has it all.
Lining up to add another. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Running back searching for a hole. Didn't find a lot of room. Let's give him 2 out to the 20.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
They knock him down after a gain of 3 to the 23. You know what they need, you know what they want, and you know what they deliver on 3rd down. More cowbell. To the air, it's Sellers. Fires to the tight end. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short.
You know, that's one as a quarterback. You've thrown the completion, and you're like, dude, can you just turn around and make one guy miss and go get the first? Or can you just stretch out and get the first down? You need your guys to have a little bit more awareness where they are in the field on that play. And even though they got the completion, it's not enough to pick up the first. And now you're staring 4th down right in the face.
And the Gamecocks will bring the punt team onto the field. They boot it away. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. He'll keep it himself. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they try to go quarterback design run on that play, but the defense just not buying it. Nice job, everybody playing downhill and making a tackle close to the line of scrimmage.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. The toss sweep to the right. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
They've made third down offense a key. It'll be tested on 3rd and long from the 28. To the air, it's Shapen. Under fire. And the ball is loose and live in the backfield. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
And if you're an offensive coordinator, you're like, whoa, thank you, Jesus. We got the lead. We're in a great situation. We got to continue to put pressure on the defense, run that clock in the second half with our lead. Thank goodness that thing kept rolling and went out of bounds.
And the ball comes to rest right there.
Well, a lot of things going wrong for this team right now, certainly on offense, and now you're seeing it in the special teams as well. This punt return is one he's got to be able to field and at least hold on to the football. I understand he's trying to go score a touchdown, but you can't lose sight of your fundamentals, and that turnover is really a microcosm of all the problems that they've been having today.
They go to the ground. Not much there. They'll give him one to the 14.
And these RPOs always put the defense in a bind. But listen, you give up the run, they get a short little gain, no harm, no foul.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. It's complete. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
For a wide receiver screen to work, you've got to have better blocking out in front by other receivers, and they're just not physical enough at the point on that last play.
And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. Quick pass to the left, trying to get it to the marker. It'll be a first down as he gets it to the 24-yard line.
Wow, and what a great job by that quarterback finding his open receiver on 3rd down. You know, guys, one of the most telling stats at the end of the game is 3rd down conversion percentage. If you're a great 3rd down team, it's invaluable to your offensive success, and that's why teams drill 3rd down so much in practice.
The Gamecocks have it with a 1st and 10. He's got it on the right. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground cover to pick up the first. And here comes the offense on 2nd down. Back to throw, it's Sellers. Gets it to the back. Wide open spaces. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down.
And after that long completion for the first down, did you see everybody sprinting to the line of scrimmage offensively? They want to go tempo right now.
Wants to keep it in the air. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
This offensive line's got to do a better job. I mean, he doesn't even have time to go through his progressions. You got to give your QB some time. You got to make him feel comfortable. They didn't. They got in there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
So now it's 2nd and long. looking for a physical attack from the gun. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And I think that might be an example of the running back maybe trying to do a little bit too much. Everybody wants to try to bounce the ball outside and hit the home run, but in college football at this level, you just need to do a better job taking what the defense gives you.
From the gun, wants to pass. Got his man. Crosses the 45, out of bounds at the 47-yard line, and a solid play there.
Deep to shallow. That's why I have to understand that as a defensive guy. I take away those passes beyond the sticks, and then I react to those quick throws they have to the running back. It's my athlete versus yours. The defense won that battle.
And the Gamecocks will bring the punt team onto the field. Fourth time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. The kick is high and away and headed toward the sideline. How about this? It's out of bounds inside the 10, and they're going to mark it right around the 5-yard line. What a great job there. This drive will start at the 6-yard line. Calls his own number. A solid run there to create a little space. He's marked down at the 15.
And how good does that feel, right? You've got the lead in the fourth quarter. The defense knows you're going to try to run the ball to ice the game, and you rip off an 8-yard run. They know it's coming, and they still can't stop it.
The Bulldogs can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Wide receiver comes in motion. Leaves it with the back. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
And this is a guy that can find you the hidden yardage. That play, he just pushes the pile to get that first down.
A lot of yardage in front of them. First and 10 from their own 19. They're going to ride this running back. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
They've got a lead here in the fourth quarter, and there's certainly still plenty of football to go, but this is where you'd love to control the flow of the game, right? You want to dictate everything to the defense, and you do that by running the football. That was a really nice run. This offensive line is firing off late. Looks like they're getting stronger as the game goes on, and that is a good sign for the offense.
And the Bulldogs can really attack on this 2nd and short. Give to the running back. Just ran over it. And he's got enough for the first down. They'll mark it at the 34.
Really impressed with the running back. His stats haven't been great, right? Every yard has been hard to come by, but these are some of the best runs we've seen in the game by him, and it's happening at the most important time here in the fourth quarter.
Mississippi State has this drive hitting on all cylinders.
Let's go!
On the ground, it's Booth. Got enough for the first down and wants more. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
I think you have to like what you see if you're the coaching staff here. Your offense is on the field, and it looks like you got a pretty good drive going, and you're just going to try and keep this thing marching, keep the clock ticking. You've got a really nice lead here late. Just want to find ways to keep the chains moving. They're doing it.
Mississippi State comes out after picking up the first down. Flips it out to the back. Got the completion, but nowhere to go as that defense reacted quickly.
I want to make sure I know where the playmakers are. And I can't let guys like this guy slip out of the backfield and make big plays against me. Good job being aware that they can throw the ball to the running back, closing space, and getting that fast dude on the ground.
The Bulldogs now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. They'll leave it with him. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
You got to give this defense credit because they have bottled this guy up all game long. He's one of the best running backs in all of college football. Everybody was expecting him to have a big one today. Don't tell that to this defense, though. They've played with great effort. They've gotten hats to the football, and they have been able to shut him down.
And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win first and second down. You set up third and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody on the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force fourth downs.
He's got great speed. You want to talk about dynamic ability to flip a field on display right there. And it was just about a return for a touchdown. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. Things had not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset. Working that left side. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down.
Well, they've got a ways to go if they're going to win this game. It's all about getting the drive started. They come away with a positive play to get this thing going. Let's see what they can do now.
Back to pass, it's Sellers. Fires to the wideout. And his throw is incomplete. Behind the chains now on second and long. He'll do it himself. They'll give him a couple that leaves him with 3rd and 8.
Man, you can tell the QB wants to run. He's going to be a big part of the game plan, and the defense really, really understands that. I got to understand, and more importantly, when I get a lick on this cat, I got to take it. Like, not dirty, not cheap shots, but end of the plays, when I can be physical and really make him feel me, I think that'll always bode well in the fourth quarter game.
So here we are on 4th down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. And it's no good. He missed it. The missed field goal still leaves us with a double-digit deficit. Still a 10-point game. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. He'll pull it on the read. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
And this defense has got to make a play, right? It's the 4th quarter. We're trailing. You know this offense, they're going to get conservative. They want to eat that clock. You've got to bring more guys to the line of scrimmage. Got to make plays. Got to get that football back.
The option look. He'll toss it. Powers through the defender. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. They're going to keep this drive going. They'll have to make a play on 3rd and long from the 26. Looking to throw it, Shapen. Pressure coming. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Oof, you got to be careful if you're the quarterback there. 3rd down, you see a lot of exotic coverages by the defense. That time they played zone, and he tried to force that football into a real tiny window. He's lucky that one wasn't picked off.
So Mississippi State will have to punt this one away. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. First snap of this drive will come from their own 32. Wants to adjust the pattern. They'll start this drive going to the air, using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. Oh, the ball squirts out. And the offense gets the ball back. How lucky are they? 5 points of pressure, high and tight.
Woo. Deep breath, right? Man, you fumble that thing, you cough it up, you're like, oh, I really appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you because the coaches would have been all over me, but big-time break for the offense.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. He's taking a deep shot. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. They're able to keep him out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 2 after the big play in the passing game.
Offenses love the explosive plays through the air, pushing the ball down the field. And look at this. Sometimes it creates some momentum, and you want to capitalize. So you go get on the ball and get ready to run some no-huddle.
Using his feet. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Gamecocks.
Well, the offense did their part. You're just trying to apply some pressure on the opponent, right? Yeah, you're down right now, but if you can find a way to get the ball back with some time on the clock, they're within striking distance still to win this game.
And with the extra point, they close it to a 17-14 game. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. They got the touchdown they needed. Now trailing by a field goal, they'll line up for the onside kick. And before they can kick it, the receiving team's going to call a timeout. They got the touchdown they needed. Now trailing by a field goal, they'll line up for the onside kick. It looked as if he got a hand on it before it traveled 10 yards, and that's going to be a penalty. These onside kicks are nearly impossible anyway, but you have to at least give them a chance by getting the ball 10 yards. They'll take the penalty and take over with the lead. Quarterback keeper. And a 9-yard gain on first down leaves him with 2nd and short. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. 1 more yard on this second down might just put an exclamation point on this one. Defense looks as if it's coming. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to do it. They ought to be able to run out the clock from here. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. And as the quarterback takes a knee, that clock keeps dwindling away, now under a minute to play. A hostile environment can have a major impact on even the most composed, well-prepared team. So how much did the crowd play a factor in this upset?
Well, this is what makes college football so great, the home crowd and how they were able to impact this game. No doubt about it, David. They played a big factor.
And they're still jacked up, and they're still excited. They play a big factor, and it affects everything. College football, road atmospheres, they're tough. Even when the team isn't ranked like they weren't today, these are the types of moments that can jump up and bite you.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.